Hi! Today we're going to make the first card we made in my class last Saturday. When you come to my class, you get a packet with your cards, with all the supplies you need for your cards that you don't have to die cut or stamp or anything. So today's card, you had your choice, depending on which side of the paper you wanted to use. You could make it floral, or I thought this was somewhat masculine, so I had the back side too. Now for my classes, I also give full instructions on how they're supposed to make the card. And today's card was based on the August 2022 Sheetload of Card Sketch. So I'm going to start by folding my card base in half, setting that aside. This is for the inside. And then this, let's see, this is 3 by 4 1/8. And this is what you're going to put your die cuts on. And I think I'm going to go with that paper again. I like that one. And I'm going to pull in my die cutting machine, and I forgot to get the die over here. And the plates. So this is how I tend to store my dies. I made 2 sides, so both cards are on it. Okay, so we're going to start by die cutting. Now for this, every one of them is using this die cut from the Textured Notes dies, which hopefully is still available. It's on the last chance list, and it was still in there was another shipment coming. So I am going to stick it all the way over to the edge and then tape it down. And then I twist it because you don't want flat edges going and hitting the rollers. It cuts much better if you don't do that. And then put it through. Okay, so there's our first one. And so you could choose the other side if you wanted. But once you've die cut it, it wouldn't quite look right if you flipped it over to choose the other side. Now I'm lining it up right against this line so that I make sure all of them fit, and I want them to line up as close as possible to what I had die cut already so that the lines will line up. I mean, if you don't have a pattern like this, you don't really have to worry about it. And you can always flip your paper over so that you, again, don't have to worry about it. Or if it doesn't bother you. So see, mine will line up, and even if it's off a little bit, it's pretty good. But, I mean, you could do it that way. You just would want to die cut it the right way. Or if you don't want to care about them lining up, you could flip it. So then I'm gonna cut my third piece. Make sure it's not straight. Cut that out. Fold the tape back on itself. And there's my third piece. So I'm done with the die cut. And now I have everybody go through and do all of the die cutting, stamping before assembly. I mean, they can assemble them if they want, but I have my island of my kitchen is set up with stations so that they stamp and then die cut and emboss and then go back and make their cards. Okay, so I'm going to use the Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder, and for that you have to use the specialty plate. We'll put that through. And that is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of cardstock, granny apple green. Move that out of my way. And then there's that. Set that aside. And I had strips of cardstock for people to stamp on because we were going to punch this out. See if I can get some good ink on there. Stamp my happy birthday. Close my ink pad. And then I'm using the 3 banner punch. And I chose the middle one. The happy birthday will fit in any of these. I am doing it upside down so that I can see that it lines up. And then punch that out. And then we just have assembly. So I'm going to start with these pieces. And what I find easiest is I have this not as sticky adhesive, it's a dot adhesive. And I like to line all of my pieces up so that I can get a feel for where they're going to be. Line that up there. Make sure I'm going in the right direction. I have enough space. Okay, I'm going to start with the middle one, and I'm going to use liquid glue. I just got this glue bottle, and I had to cut the tip, so we'll see if I cut it thin enough, but thick enough. I wanted one that had a cover on it. Okay, so then I'm going to line that up there. You can use an adhesive eraser to get the adhesive off the back, which looks like that. But I put glue on it, so I didn't feel like it was going to be a problem. Also, it's not a very sticky adhesive or tape runner. Okay, line that one up. I do like liquid glue for this because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room in case I didn't get something straight. And then twist to pull it off. Put some more liquid glue on the back of this one. And then add it over on this side. Let's see, have I gotten everything lined up? That looks pretty good. If it doesn't, I have to just accept things are handmade. They're not going to be perfect. Now I'm going to put my embossed paper panel on the card base. I like to use liquid glue for embossed panels just because I think sometimes when they're really deep like this, they don't always adhere well with a tape runner because there's just not enough spots for them to connect. Okay, so that's on. I'm going to use dimensionals on this piece. I like to put them in the corners, and then if it's too long, I'll also put some in the middle. I don't want it to droop. I do not like my popped up panels to droop. Finish getting all of those off. And then try and center that on the card. And then I've got my happy birthday, which I'm just going to put a little liquid glue on it. And I chose to center it on the rightmost panel. So that's there. And then, oh, here they are. So I chose the metallic gems because to me these can pass as masculine. I mean, they're shiny, but they're metal. So in my opinion, that's more masculine. So I'm going to use the copper ones because that's my favorite. And I like to do 3s. And I don't want to put it on top of a dimensional for mailing purposes. Then I'm going to stick my white liner inside for easy writing. And then there's the card. Easy peasy. Thanks for joining me.